Hello and welcome to the incredibly influential and highly successful podcast. My name is Kale. I'm incredibly influential.
And my name is Maxwell, and I am also highly successful.
And I'm, returning highly successful Danny Eden.
Yes. Hello. It's. I think I've titled the episode "Twice the High, Double the Success." Yes, we got him. We've got him back, ladies and gentlemen. We got him back for the holiday special. Happy holidays, everybody. I think this is going up. What is this on the 26th? So Danny's back, baby. We got him.
Let's
We
go. Let's go.
Yeah. So very excited to have him back. How have you been, man? It's been a while since the audience has heard from you.
I've been good. I was working for a while. Now I'm just kind of doing school. I should have my associates, I think, next semester. So
Fuck yeah, dude.
that'll be
Get it.
good. And then after that, I'm gonna try to go for my bachelor's. So it's been going good, all in all.
Yeah, I mean, good for you, man. Yeah, good for you. Glad to hear that school's going good for you. Yeah. So yeah, we obviously the we've had Max as the highly successful spot since what was it, March, and or it might have been February, but yeah, we haven't heard from you in about 9 months, so it's we're glad to hear from you. Obviously, um, you've been on Atop the Table with us, but it's been a while since you've been on like the actual show, which is crazy.
Yeah, I've had some little appearances here and there, either on the gaming channel or like the atop the table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still lurking in the background to those who are attentive. But yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a while.
Yeah. Um. Have you been listening to the show since your absence?
I thought about it. In the first episode that came out right after, I was very curious, but I never did.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome. There goes my next question out the fucking window. That's
No,
great.
ask it anyways. I'm gonna.
I was gonna say, how do you feel Maxwell has done in your stead, taking over your duties?
Well, I think Maxwell's a cool guy. We've hung out on the top of the table. He
Yeah, we
seems
have.
he seems like he's a slightly different energy than I was, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like uh he and you, I feel like would make a good duo. I'm not exactly sure how the balance is now, if it's more you or more him now. Because I remember with me, it was like you and me were like kind of like head to head, kind of like very very intense. Some of those episodes.
I think Max can. He's a little more laid back, as you could
Yeah,
probably tell from listening to him.
Yeah,
I
that's what I was saying. It's a slightly different energy. Yeah,
I don't fight him as much on his crazy takes because I just
Because
accept
I'm
them as
right.
no, I
Because
just
I'm right.
accept them as crazy.
No. It's because I'm right. It's because I'm right, chat. Let's be real here.
chat, the mythical,
By the way,
fictional
He
chat.
he talks to a fictitious chat. You see what
all
I
right,
mean by
that's not an
crazy?
uncommon thing. That's not an uncommon thing. There's actually been a lot of what is it? News coverage of like, is chat becoming the new fourth person pronoun, where it's like, instead of y'all or guys, it's it's chat. Everybody's saying chat now. Even people who don't fucking stream,
Really,
which is, yeah.
everybody's saying it.
I don't think that if that is a true statement that it's reached me yet. So
I
I can't
agree.
I can't vouch for that information he just
the
gave y'all.
the
But
the Gen Alpha kids are saying it because they all grew up watching, fucking streamers, right? They're all watching iShowSped and fucking Kai Sanat and all that shit, you know. So all they say is fucking chat, all the Luddy buddies and all that. Yeah, it's always just, chat. Is this real? Is this real, chat? And
the
yeah.
thing is, I think that people more use it in like sarcastic and ironic way than a real way. You know what I mean?
Okay,
You're being
you
very
can't
serious.
you can't possibly think that I sincerely have the delusion that there's a chat watching me right now. I know when I'm streaming.
I don't
And
Let
I
know.
know when
me
I'm
You
not.
tell
keep
you,
saying chat.
yeah, I think me and Max are on the same wave. We're just making sure, we can never tell.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
we're
I'm
only
not
calling out
that.
what we're hearing.
I'm not that fucking crazy. Okay, I'm
So you do admit that you're a
generally
little crazy, though.
Huh.
I'm generally pretty sane. Is what I'm gonna say. Is what I'm gonna say.
Generally pretty sane. You see, like he's dodging the word crazy, but I think that underneath there was an admittance of guilt.
Yeah, I'm so
I'm
glad I'm
about
not
as
talking to
sane.
the wind about this man who's speaking to chat.
I'm about as sane as just about anyone is.
Maybe I gotta start listening for Maxwell's hot takes here. Because he's onto something.
I posted
Hey,
a
I'm
clip
on the
from
same page as you.
yeah, I posted a clip from one of our previous episodes, and it's him just absolutely fucking roasting the shit out of me. He was like trying to like weasel his way out of it. He was like, oh well, I don't know if I want to say it. I don't know if I want to flame you, but I made him say it, and it was I was saying like, oh, I'm back home. I'm using a better mic again, and he was like, well, that implies you were pleasant to listen to in the first place.
You know what? I need to see this clip. If you have it for me, can you
It's a
give me
really
a link real quick?
it's a really good clip, but like it takes him a while to get there because like he's like, maybe that's too mean, but that's,
No, it's all right.
I mean,
I
it's
I
on
was like the
brand.
same way, right? I feel like for a little bit of knowing Kale, you want to be that nice friend, but you realize you just kind of gotta fight fire with Kale.
Yeah, you
so
make a
you just
great
light me on
point.
fire. Yes. Yeah.
You have to return the energy that he gives you, and if he's just gonna be crapping all over you, you gotta
Yeah, he
find
just
your way to
he
fight
just
back.
runs loose if you don't do anything.
I mean, if we're talking
Sometimes
about running loose,
sometimes I don't have the energy, and he really does just go loose like
I
crazy.
do. The worst part is I'm mostly uncaffeinated most of the time.
I'm sure you remember Kale back in the day, like those episodes where I was tired, like you could tell because like you would definitely have a lot more of a controlling presence.
Oh, I always have a very controlling presence. That's the whole thing.
Well, yeah, that is your kind of whole thing, but for me, I feel like I had a full range of emotions. If I had energy, then I was sometimes matching you.
Mm-hmm.
If I was tired, I was a little bit quieter, laid back.
Mm-hmm.
I would think like the sane one of the two of us, though.
I think I'm about as
I
sane
can
as
agree
just
with
as
that.
I think I'm about as sane as just about anyone.
I think that we're like, me and Maxwell, we're like the bonding agent that keeps this show together, because without us, I feel like you'd go crazy, wild,
He would just start
rabid,
swimming without a shirt
feral.
and talking about how the frogs are turning people gay.
That's the type of energy I do get from Kale.
I don't like
I
them putting
definitely.
chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
See, this would be week 4 of like the incredibly influential and only incredibly influential.
No, let me tell you, that
The
would be
funniest
such
thing
a
is,
funny sequel podcast.
what the funniest thing is, right? Literally on week 4, we fucked up the entire balance of the show because we got Danny's fucking girlfriend in here, and she does exactly what I do. So every time we have her on, it's fucking chaos because it's 2 crazy motherfuckers and 1 straight man, and 1 straight man can't handle 2 of us. So it's just ridiculous. We completely lost the entire fucking plot
That
on episode fucking 4.
that makes sense to me.
Couldn't even make it a month. It was great. Yeah.
I don't ever expect Kale to rein it in on like
No.
on
No,
one
hell no.
exception.
No,
I
that's why I was here, and that's why you're here now.
Yeah.
To ground the show and make it to where people can actually understand what's going on.
He has
sometimes
this awareness that like it would go too far.
I mean, my streams are okay, but that's usually because I'm focusing on something else. If it's just me,
That's because there's a
riffing,
real chat.
yeah,
That is true. There's a real chat.
true.
He's
That is
not
true.
Well, sometimes there's a road chat. I've been to some of those streams.
Hey, shut up! Shut up! We don't talk about that. We don't fucking talk about that. Hang on. We don't talk about that. Don't worry about it. Disregard that, stenographer. Strike that from the. Wait, I'm the stenographer.
This is
God damn it!
unedited. This is crazy.
God
Yeah.
damn it!
He's
I'm the
really
stenographer.
delusional.
I know I have to go in and cut that. Damn. Shame.
There's no way you're gonna go through the effort of cutting that tiny little segment out.
It would be really funny if I did, though. That's the thing. It'd
It would be funny,
if I did.
but I don't think you're gonna do it.
Yeah, you have to come around to this mark.
I just might be lazy enough to let it slide.
The thing
Well,
is, if you
then-
cut it, then you have to cut this like follow-up part too.
Yeah, you have to cut
or
all
else-
this stuff out too. We're talking about it. We're talking about how you would not cut this out, and so if you
See?
did, you would lose anyway.
When I say that upsetting the delicate balance that we have on this show is dangerous, this is what happens. I get two of you in here, and it becomes the shit on Kael show. It's great. It's great. I hope you motherfuckers are enjoying it.
Oh yes,
you know, this is how every episode should have gone, really.
Mm-hmm. All right. So if we're going full tilt into chaos, I wanna start by saying, I had a really good joke the other day. Maxwell, do you remember the mixed emotion cards?
I do.
Okay, so for Danny and for the audience, when we went to boarding school, they used this system of cards called like the mixed emotion cards, and they had like all the different like emotions that you had on there, and a lot of times we would talk to like our chaperones, and we'd use like the mixed emotion cards, and so my mom went into counseling, and she has a deck of those as well. So, she had them in her purse, right? When she went to, so we went up to Nashville to drive down to Florida, and she had mixed motion cards in her purse, but most of the most of them were missing, right? And like they looked at the I opened it, right, and I looked in there, and it was just all the positive ones that were still in the bag, and they got rid of all the, and she'd gotten rid of all the negative ones.
She got rid of all the negative ones? What the fuck?
I
Then it's not mixed emotions.
She
It's
was
just
doing something
positive
with a client.
emotions.
I think she had them separate because she was doing something with a client.
Well,
But,
okay. Well, tell me what the purpose of these cards are.
So it's when like you need to like, it's when you're like talking to someone and they ask you like, how are you feeling, right? And you can't just be like, whatever, okay, fine, because those aren't emotions, right? So, or like hungry, thirsty, all that. Those aren't emotions. Those are just like physical states of being, right?
Mhm.
So, the cards are there to be like help you like self-reflect and be like, oh, okay, I guess I'm feeling this, or I guess I'm feeling that, right?
Is it kind of
Um,
like how I've seen it before, where it's like the doctors have like the 1 to 10 like faces for like the pain scale? Is it kind of like similar
Kinda.
to that, where like they just have the cards and you're supposed to like be like that one?
Kind of. Like it's there to help you like give names to whatever you're feeling, right?
Okay.
Because it's kind of like when you're talking about like emotions, it's kind of like writing on a pencil with itself. You know, it's like it's kind of just difficult to do that, right? But like so obviously I was looked at the deck. I'm like, all the negative emotions are out, and I'm like, hey mom, did they release a new update for humanity? Did they patch out all the negative emotions? If so, where do I get it?
Let me
And-
tell you, right? Like I feel like that joke would have hit harder if the run up wasn't so long.
It also would have hit better if you didn't fucking interrupt, asshole.
I was trying to clarify for
Shithead.
myself,
Shithead.
but
fuck
but even before I clarified, that run up for that joke was like 2 minutes for like a 3-second joke that wasn't even that good, you know?
Nah, you want to hear about run up for jokes. You want to hear about run up for jokes. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's
Like
not-
why,
the
why,
I'm
time's
still
not right.
waiting.
why do
The
you
time's
talk
not
for
right.
why do you talk and you don't follow up anything that you say?
The time is not right for it. I've said too much already. I've said too much. It's not right. It's not ready yet. It's not ripe yet. You know.
I
You
gotta.
know? It's not time for harvest yet. I have sown, I've sown,
Why are you
but
still
I will reap
talking?
later. Okay. It's a fucking podcast. We're supposed to talk,
I know, but you're
dumbass.
saying nothing. You're
I
like
am.
saying words, but
I'm
nothing's coming out.
explaining. I had a joke, but I'm explaining why I'm not telling it because now I feel like I've ruined it and it's not the right time to deliver it yet. But it's a really good joke, so well, I'll save it for another episode.
But to everybody who doesn't know the joke, you're just rambling about nothing.
Nobody knows the joke because I
Exactly,
haven't
that's the
released
point.
it
Is
yet.
that you're the only person that
He's the
that
only
knows what's
one
going
in on the
on.
joke.
I'm releasing. I'm. It's like we're at E3 right now, and I'm announcing that I have a new joke. Right. This is like the Elder Scrolls 6 thing at E3 2018. Right. Like no information, no anything, but they know that there's a joke coming out soon. Right. So you know what? That's all we need to announce there. I don't want to release a trailer.
Coming soon.
You
A
know,
joke.
I have a friend
Exactly.
who's just like you, who gets around whatever I'm saying by just giving me like analogies and like scenarios. They're just like, it's like E3, you know,
I
or
mean,
it's
but
like
like
this, or it's
it's
like
an
that.
announcement trailer. That's all I'm saying, right? Like
It-
I don't think the time would be right to either release a trailer or release the full thing, right? I don't think the market is right. I don't think the customers are ready for it, you know? They've heard that joke, but now they need to they need to cleanse their palate. They need to get ready for the next one, right? You don't release like Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield on the same afternoon, right? You got to let them marinate, you know?
well, let me tell you, I hope this joke is good for your sake, cause I don't really care enough, you know, right now for it to be bad, you know.
It'll be in a few episodes. I don't want to give it in this episode. I don't want to give it in the next episode, but maybe in the episode after that or the episode after that.
All right, we'll have to
figure it out.
convene on atop the table, you know, and Maxwell can tell me how flat this joke fell.
It's. I mean, you can just listen to the fucking episodes. You
That's
dumbass.
also something that I forget, is that it's available to listen to for people who want to listen to it, right? That's
It's
great.
almost like podcasts are very public for people to listen.
The
That's
wild
kind of the
thing is,
whole thing.
I followed the Discord. I get notifications for everything you do. I follow the YouTube and I get all the notifications. I follow the Instagram. I get all notifications, but I just swipe them every time I get them.
Fucking asshole. You fucking son of a bitch.
I support
hate you.
every single social media, but I don't watch the show.
Dude, it's actually been fucking. We've had some really good episodes. What was it? I think we've had our favorite episode ever was since Maxwell took over, because we had some good ones, but yeah, the episode 53, the one we had with Scott Henson, that was maybe the best episode we've ever had. Man,
That was kind of wild.
he's fucking great. Absolute friend of the show. Go check him out.
You know what I did like listening to was like the interview thing that you did. I only watched one episode of it. I'm not sure if you continue that series.
I'm still working on getting someone. I was trying to get someone earlier this year and it just never worked out. I was trying to get them on the show when you were still the co-host, man.
Okay, yeah, because
that's how long
I remember I
the
watched
marketing-
one episode. I'm not sure if you ever did a second episode or if it was only
We did a second
just-
episode. I interviewed a bartender from Denmark, I believe. Yeah, that was interesting. It was
because it was crazy. It was like a whole different personality where you actually like were asking good questions and stuff, you know.
and I'm professional.
That's
Yeah, I know, it's
crazy.
crazy.
I
I've
know,
never seen
right?
Kael in that setting before.
Like you should listen to like that interview that I listened to. It was like, wow, is this the same Kale? Because he
It
gives
was-
us like the scraps of like what he gives them. You know what I mean?
It
That's
was
messed up.
okay. It's supposed to be. This show is supposed to be fucking funny, assholes. It wouldn't be funny if I was
Damn,
just
you can't even do
insightful
that.
and engaging. Oh, fuck yourself.
I'm
Go
kidding.
fuck yourself. Go fuck
I
yourself
somebody had
playing
to
with a
say it. I
Preston
was
Terror
thinking
Garden
it.
shoes.
I'm glad somebody. You know, this is perfect. Not
It's
whenever.
dangerous putting the two of you together. I shouldn't have done this. This is a bad idea. Is it too late to cancel? Is it too?
No,
We
you
should hang out
signed up
more,
for
Max.
this.
This is
Yeah.
great. You know.
This is a great way to plug atop the table.
Yeah, that is true. If you guys want a bunch of episodes of these two together in the D&D episode, they're sort of like paired together kind of pretty often. So it's like, you know, that they do a lot of this fucking banter together, and they always gang up on me as well. So
It's
if you
so
like
fun.
this dynamic, it happens all the time.
I do admit, Kale, there's something about like your presence that just makes it very easy to pick on you. You know,
Don't I fucking know it? I've been dealing with that for 20 fucking 2 years,
like
man.
no matter the
Yeah.
scenario, whether we're like it's a one-on-one, you know, in this sort of situation, it's a two-on-one, or in a group situation, I feel like you're always like the easiest target to hit. You know, the biggest
I am.
target.
I'm
The
an easy
biggest
target.
target.
If I was really funny, I would do the what is it, the Peter Griffin monologue when Lois is yelling at him and he talks about like, you know, yeah, I'm an easy target. You know, I talk too much, but I also listen too much. You know, my f- my friends like me. You know why? Because I'm the genuine article. Yeah,
I
if I was really funny,
I
I would quote
remember
that to
that
you
one.
verbatim.
I forget what episode that was though.
I don't know, but
That
Lois was being an asshole. But she's always an asshole now. Modern Family Guys just ruined the characters, man.
I remember I started watching Family Guy, I think a long, long time ago, and I stopped watching
Hmm.
it, but I just started rewatching it ever since they added like Family Guy to Fortnite. I was like, you know what? I need to watch Family Guy again.
It's not. It hasn't been good in a long time. I would say.
I'm watching it like in order though. I've watched every single episode from the beginning. I'm on season 12 right now.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ! How do you watch that much in a row?
I
God
Well,
damn.
mean,
I
you
I
just
don't
gotta
like
add Peter Griffin to Fortnite, and the
well
rest takes care of itself.
like no, I watched like 10 of those seasons a long, long time ago. I just started
Oh,
rewatching it on like season 11, but
Okay. All
I
right.
I,
I
I
was gonna
watch
say if
it.
you watched
I'm not
12
sitting here like
seasons.
hyper focused on Family Guy. Most of the time, I'm doing other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
right.
If you're watching 12 seasons of Family Guy since they put Family Guy in Fortnite, that's
Yeah,
excessive.
that'd be. I don't even know if like
That
how
was
I would be able to fit
that
that much Family
was
Guy into my daily schedule.
that was implied though.
It,
Yeah.
That's where you picked up from. It's the
well,
beginning.
you think I picked up from the first episode? I said
Well, as
I
soon
watched
as
Family Guy in the
it's
past,
like,
and I just
damn,
started rewatching it.
they put Peter in Fortnite. I gotta get on this Family Guy stuff.
I gotta know all the lore. I gotta know all the deep Family Guy lore. You
Let me
know?
tell you, right? Like Family Guy is one of those things where the longer you watch it, you start seeing like the recurring jokes. You know, you get once you get like super deep,
What if
it's crazy how many recurring like jokes they have that only appear like once every 2 seasons.
what if they did a full um so you know how like Family Guy humor is just this reminds me of the time I kissed a frog and it turned into Alan Rickman. And like they do like a cutaway gag, right? What if they did an entire timeline from beginning to now, including where all the cutaway gags would fit in canonically, right? What if they did that? What if they did that? Would you watch that?
It would be like hours long.
Like an 8 hour long YouTube video of someone figuring out like where all of the cutaway gags and all of the episodes fit in chronologically.
Like
Um,
you what you're asking somebody to do that they probably already have done it. Someone on YouTube who's done like a deep dive into like the Family Guy lore and is like giving us the scoop here. You know, I
I don't
just
think somebody's done that exactly though.
well, people have done lore dives and stuff like that. I know that.
Yes, but they haven't done that exactly though, where they go in and they literally take every single cutaway gag and every single episode and they place it on a timeline, right? Nobody's done that before. I know nobody's done that before because that is the kind of shit I would watch, right? So somebody who isn't me should do that.
Like I was just the other day for fun, right? I had like pulled up like the Family Guy like wiki for like Peter,
Mhm.
and I just read through like his jobs that he's had, and it
Mhm.
was the funniest thing. Looking at all of his like one time jobs, it was like 60 different jobs, and it would be like
Mhm.
normal things. It would be like office worker or this or that, and then it would be like Han Solo, and then it would be like somebody's neck, and then I'd be like I don't.
Yeah. I
It's
would say
it's wild.
I would say that the Star Wars episodes are the last time Family Guy was ever good, right?
I'm
Like
not
the
sure like if you ever knew about this, Max, or if you ever heard me say this, right? But I remember I would always tell Kale that the only Star Wars that I had ever watched was the Family Guy episodes, and he would get so tilted.
He's
Nice.
yeah.
Love the
I'm
tilt.
I'm surprised Maxwell isn't a little more tilted about that because he's one of the only people who I would say is about as much of a Star Wars nerd as I am. But Maxwell is on some kind of drugs that just makes him not react to anything.
Yeah, I'm
And
just super tolerant, man. You should try it.
Yeah.
I would never. And let me tell you. If we're gonna talk about intolerance, I'm gonna tell you something. All right, are you ready for this? You know how I fucking hate Floridians, and let me tell you, I've mathematical,
wait.
scientific proof
Real
that
quick,
Floridians are bad people morally.
is this going to go into what we were talking about before the podcast at all? Because I feel like
Which
You-
part?
you
His
mentioned
cool jackets.
the Florida thing about whenever I was talking about the jacket. We'll get to the jacket
No.
later, though.
No, we'll talk about the fucking jacket later. We will. Don't you fucking worry about that. But so basically, we were me and my stepmom. We took my dog to what was it? PetSmart yesterday, right? He needed a big spa day. You know, his nails were a little too long. His hair was a little too long. He just needed a nice little spa day. So we dropped him off there, and while we were in the parking lot, somebody left a shopping cart. And it's like, you know what? Okay, all right, whatever. You know, that's one random asshole, right? Who can't put the shopping cart back, right? We go over to Target, and I shit you not, I counted like a dozen shopping carts who were not in a corral and were just sort of left around, right? Like, it's fucking ridiculous. And it's a really easy litmus test of whether or not you're a shitty person with what you do with your shopping cart, right? If you leave it out in the middle of the fucking parking lot, you're a dick and you're going to hell. If you put it in the corral, you're a decent person. You know, you follow the rules. You do what you're supposed to do. If you take it from your car all the way back to the front of the front of the store and you like put it in where it's supposed to go, you're a fucking saint, right? You are a good person.
I don't know.
And
I feel like it almost loops around, and like you go back to like being like a crazy person, though. If you're going that far out of your way,
you're a crazy person, but you're a
Like-
crazy person in the same way that Batman is a crazy person, right? Like
no, I think you're just a crazy person. You can't compare people that put their shopping carts in the store to Batman. That's just
but
such a
like
wild
you're
leap.
crazy in a way that you want to do the most good for anyone, right? Like that's still like you're going above and beyond out of your way, but you're doing to be like a good person, right? It's like Mr. Breast, right? Like he gives away like millions and billions of dollars all the fucking time, but you know, like normally all you would have to do to really be a good person is just like, you know, just donate a little bit or like work in your local soup kitchen, right? But he's giving away millions and billions of dollars, constantly doing charity all the fucking time.
I guess I'm not good enough to have millions of billions of dollars to give away.
It almost seems like
Well,
You're-
like the effort and shit too. Because
I
you don't
get-
really.
I get what you're saying, but like your points that you're making are really bad.
Like well, I didn't want to say this to toot my own horn, but I do have an example, right, of something you can do when you're not a millionaire billionaire.
You can
Is-
buy a ticket to fly out to another country
Shut up.
and,
Don't
and
worry
then
about
do
it.
humanitarian
Don't
aid.
worry.
Oh wait,
about
you know
it.
what? That's a great example. You know, you can go to other countries, build wells or houses. I've seen that before. You know,
I
Yes.
went on a medical mission.
I
2
don't know
months after you
anybody
quit.
in my personal life who's ever done anything as
I'm
noble.
right here, you dick.
If
I
only
flew
I
all-
knew somebody
If only.
that was just so
All
kind.
the
Such
way,
a shame.
all the way to the Dominican Republic to do that. I'm right here, man. I'm right here. I did that. You know, I didn't want to toot my own horn, but now I feel like someone is untooting my horn.
Good.
And I need to,
Man,
and
I miss the Kale who didn't want to toot his own horn.
I didn't. I was trying to come
Where
up with a
did that
different example.
person go?
I was trying to come up with a different example, but now
I don't know. Personally, I feel like if you do a good deed, you don't rub it in other people's faces.
I was trying not to.
It kind of like takes away from the good deed that you're trying to do, you know?
Shove it right up your ass. Shove it straight up your ass. This is fucking awful. This is fucking awful. But still, my point is, in the Midwest, right? Nobody leaves their shopping carts out. No one. Like, if you go to my local Walmart, no one leaves their shit out. They put it in the fucking corral, and everyone does it, and it's great, and it's beautiful. Nobody leaves their fucking shopping cart out.
I feel like it happens like very, very rarely. But most of the time, like it's like what you said, right? Like it's usually you don't ever see any carts that are just like in random spots.
Yeah. Maxwell, do they do that a lot in New York?
Do what?
Leave their shopping carts out instead of putting them in the corral.
Well, yeah, it happens. I mean, in the city, it's kind of harder for it to happen frequently because, you know, there's not really a place for people to leave shopping carts out. It's just kind of like it's the city.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, I would say, I think we know what the problem is. Because half the population of Florida is snowbirds who come from New York and New Jersey and live down in Florida for the winter of the year. And it is winter, so they've probably come down by now. And they are, you know, they're doing their thing, and they're, you know, like leaving their shopping carts around and just generally being dicks all the time. Florida is not a place full of nice people. They're kind of, this is kind of the worst state.
Well, at least you'll fit in, you know.
Fuck
Yeah,
you. I
state for the
always
worst
leave my
people.
shopping cart. I always leave my shopping cart in the corral. I never leave it out. Yeah. Fuck you.
A state for the worst people.
That's why I don't live here.
Well,
That's no. It's, you said you'd fit right in. Isn't that right?
No, Danny said that.
No, those are your.
Do you
words.
have white man deafness? Can you not tell the difference between white people's voices?
I'm pretty sure I heard you say that.
This is slander and libel.
you
And I
know
won't
what?
stand for it,
I also
okay?
recall you saying that, Kel.
And this is gaslighting too. This is gaslighting.
Oh, I'm very certain that's exactly what I heard.
You
Yeah.
can't gaslight a psychologist. That's
Are
like
you
trying
really a
to-
psychologist, though?
I'm more a psychologist than you two chuckle fucks
I
are.
feel like I'm just
That's
trying
not-
to gaslight
But
her.
that's the thing, right? You could take one class in like college and say I'm more of a psychologist than y'all two are. It still doesn't make you a psychologist, though. You know what I mean?
3. It's 3.
It doesn't matter how many. The point is that like unless you're like an actual psychologist, there's not like a middle ground where it's like you become more of a psychologist. It's like you're either are or you aren't a psychologist, you know?
No, I say that's not true. I say that's not true. But we do have to go to the ad break. But I'll state my case here. I'll state my case now, and we can use the ad break for you to come up with your counter arguments. But I will say there is a hierarchy here. Okay, so if I say, you know, all right, say we're in an emergency, right? Say we're in an emergency, and you've got someone having a heart attack, right? And you have 2 people to respond, right? And one of them has taken 3 years of med school, and the other one has taken 1 year of med school. Who do you trust to help the patient?
Those both don't sound like enough years of experience.
But
still-
one of them has more experience, right?
I feel
I
like
mean, in literal speaking terms, yes.
Exactly.
I feel
so
like,
I'm
you
more
know,
an expert on gaslighting than
So-
you.
It's just because we don't have another person more
It's-
qualified.
like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I know CPR, so I'm more of a doctor than you are. It's like, well, technically,
true.
but not like in a sense that like it really matters. You know what I mean? I feel like you're right by like the smallest technicality, but I feel like you don't understand like the spirit of what I'm saying is that I just think that you're wrong.
You are trying to defend gaslighting me into believing. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're gaslighting me, you're gaslighting the audience, and you're gaslighting yourselves. I hope you're proud of yourselves.
I would never gaslight anybody. I tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing
Oh,
but
what?
the truth.
Oh, what, am I crazy? Am I crazy for believing you'd gaslight someone?
See, the first step to getting over a problem is admitting you have one, you know?
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. 42 episodes without you. 42. We were doing just fine.
You know what,
And I had
Max?
to ruin
If it's
it.
all right with you, I think that I wouldn't mind coming back here as a more consistent role. This
Oh,
is fun now, you know?
Why did I do this?
Things are
Why
just
did I
starting
do
to
this to
turn around.
myself? I need to bring in a counterbalance to rebalance the scales, right?
I
This
feel
is-
like if we keep bringing counterbalances in, it might get a little out of the. It might get a little wild. But I feel like three is a good number. You know, 3 feels right.
Fuck you. No, I feel like anyone I bring in is just gonna be on your side.
And think about it, right? All you gotta do in order to include me is add an S after successful, and then we're good to go. You know what I mean?
The incredibly influential and highly successfuls podcast.
Yes. Yeah, because there's 2
I don't
of
know
us.
if that works. I don't know if that works.
No, we're the highly successfuls. You know what I mean? We're like the duo. You know what I mean?
Now the question is, I'm literally writing the description for this episode right now. What season is this? A season? So I broke it up by seasons, right? Of who is my co-host, right? Was it Danny? You were season 1, or Max? You're season 2. Is this a season 2, or is this a start of a new season 3 where everything is terrible and I want to die?
You know what? I like your idea. Season 3, the season of 2 highly successfuls.
God. Oh,
If that's
God.
all right with
You
you,
know
Max,
what?
it's all right with me. That's. I think we can.
Yeah,
We can do
I think
that.
we're suffering from 2 highly successful right now.
Someone is suffering from that. Yes, I will. Agree.
I don't think
It
anybody's
doesn't sound like it's the
suffering.
2 of you. It doesn't sound like it's the 2 of you. You
I
two
hear
get along
joy
like a
all
house on
around.
fire.
We just
You
have
know?
You two
so
get along.
much highly successful going on right now.
This is my Christmas gift to myself. Is torture. I'm an absolute masochist. Why did I do this?
Well, we already knew that, Kale.
This is absolute fucking torture. Why am I doing this to myself? Please,
Great
somebody
question.
enlighten me. I don't know why I do this to myself. This is terrible. But man, we have to go to the ad break. Hopefully I can pull us out of this nosedive that we're going to. So thank you for listening this far, and stay tuned for the rest. This episode is sponsored by Liquid IV, the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. We've been partnered with them all summer, and I've been using it to beat the heat through some of these particularly nasty heat waves. While it was scorching hot outside, I was staying cool and refreshed with Liquid IV and their 12 delicious flavors.
1 stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates you twice as fast and far more efficiently than water alone, and it also contains 5 essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks, without any GMOs, gluten, dairy, or soy. Liquid IV is also committed to equitable access to clean water worldwide, partnering with leading organizations to fund and foster innovative solutions with communities that protect both their water and their futures, and donating 39 million servings in 50 plus countries around the world.
Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code IIHS podcast, all one word, at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code IIHS Podcast, again, all one word, at liquidiv.com. Thank you again to Liquid IV for partnering with us. This episode has been generously sponsored by skunknuggetparenting.com, run by my own talented mother. Parenting is hard. Sometimes kids and parents are like night and day. It can be very hard to get on the same page with them, and a lot of parents have anxiety that maybe they're doing it all wrong. Luckily, there is a service out there that can help. Skunk Nugget Parenting Solutions is a company that provides parent coaching services, resource referrals, and psychological profiling, along with 24/7 phone and text access in an all virtual program. Plus, the first consultation is free. In order to get this amazing service, please visit skunknuggetparenting.com. That is skunknuggetparenting.com. Thank you to Skunk Nugget Parenting Solutions for sponsoring this episode. Thank you all for listening. And now, back to the podcast. Thank you. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us. I think we're all under control now. I think things are a little more under control. I think we can make the rest of this episode happen. Although
It's been happening.
Danny did provide us with a bit of a nightmare scenario where he said, "Oh, I think I'll just come back for this every week."
Well, like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure about you, Max, but that doesn't sound too bad to me, you know?
It sounds like one person's nightmare.
You know, this show really is just me bearing the cross just all the time. And just absolutely, I suffer for all of your entertainment. So,
Well, the thing is, I thought of it more as like a back and forth before, but I do like this version where, like, you know, the fire's all only on you, you know? Kind of like you're like the butt of the jokes, you know what I mean? You're like the person in the friend group that's always like there, but like nobody really likes you.
fuck you. I set up everything.
And that's the thing. You're the considerate friend. You like set things up, but like nobody really appreciates or likes you still.
There would not be a podcast. There would not be either podcast or anything if it weren't for me. I'm out here. I bleed, I sweat, and I cry, and I power this show by pure fucking elbow grease.
But that's the thing, you know, Kael, is that like I feel like you appreciate the what's it called? The insults more than you would appreciate me being nice to you. You know what I mean? So I'm really doing it out of the kindness of your heart.
At this point, I would just be suspicious of you.
See, exactly. See, so I feel like being mean to you is the only thing you understand.
Jesus Christ, it's like this is like abuse mentality. This is like child abuse mentality. Jesus Christ, it's like, oh, you know, I have to beat my child. That's the only thing he understands. Like, what the fuck?
You know, we're conditioning you to get used to it. You know, or should I say we've been conditioning you. You know, from the start.
I don't think that's what
I like this
conditioning
reversal of roles.
I don't think that's what conditioning is, because if you were classical conditioning, what would I be associating? What's the unconditioned stimulus? What is the response?
You know how like you just like take what I say and then make it not fun?
I remember, like I said, I'm more of a psychologist than you. This is me bringing it back.
I stand on the hill that while you're technically right, I still think you're wrong.
I like this. I approve of this.
See, this is like I'm a climate scientist and I'm telling you that the climate is changing, and you're like, yeah, but the winter are cold, so I don't believe you. This is what's happening. This is my life.
No, this is what happens. It's like, you know, like you say you're a psychologist, and you can say that all you want, and you can give me all the different examples, like this climate, you know, scientist example. The thing is, like, in the end, I just don't think you're right. I'm not convinced, you know? How about this? How about we make an agreement, Cal? How about you get a little piece of paper that says associates or bachelors of psychology, and then I'll say, you know what? you're a psychologist. But until then, let's
I
just.
have my associates in business, and I'm in school to be a psychologist.
I'll
I don't
tell
know what
you
the
what.
issue
You
is.
can be a businessman then. You know,
No,
or an
no.
entrepreneur, or whatever
I
you
don't need
want.
your permission to be a businessman. I'm in like 5 companies right now. I'm in a leading position at 5 companies right now. I'm like a general partner or a sole proprietor in 4, and a chief officer in another. Right?
You sound real proud of
I
that.
I don't need to be a. I don't need your permission to be a businessman. I earned that shit. I chicken dinnered that shit.
I'm not gonna lie, Kel. You're kind of being a little aggressive here. You gotta tone it down. When have we ever been mean to you?
God damn it.
I'm just trying to have a conversation with a friend here, and this is what I get. This is crazy.
God damn it. What has my life come to? What am I doing with myself?
Now, those are the questions we should be asking. Okay.
Fuck off.
So what's the next topic, Kel?
I have a I have a question that I wanted to talk about, because this is supposed to be the holiday special episode. You assholes. Keep distracting me.
Well, you have the topics. You just need to do a better job of presenting them.
I ran out of written topics a while ago.
Oh, really? Man, you.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I was wondering why we
I
were
guess
sending
I
a
could
scramble.
talk about my.
Man
guess
is
I could
short
talk
on
about my
original
trip.
content.
I could talk about my trip, but like I don't know. I think it was pretty boring, to be honest. I slept through a lot of it. But I do have a question for you guys. So Max, if you didn't know, we watched this. We watched a movie yesterday. It's going up on Patreon later today, as we're recording this. So on the 20th, we forgot to say the date. God damn it. Yeah. So that'll be out later today, and I think this episode will be out tomorrow on Patreon, and then yeah, and then we are all going to watch a movie together tomorrow.
No,
for
let me just
Patreon.
clarify this, because
Yeah, what's
you
up?
said we're gonna watch a movie.
Yes.
Now-
I think I might have told you what it was. Don't tell Maxwell.
Oh, okay. I won't say it. I think I know what it is, but so it's just like an audio thing, right? Like where do the viewers just not hear the movie? They just hear us commenting on the movie. Is that
So they
how
put-
it is?
Exactly.
It's kind of a ghetto setup, right? Where we put out the commentary over on Patreon. They supply the movie, because if we supplied the movie, that would be copyright infringement. So, they supply the movie.
I see. So they're supposed to be like watching the movie with us, type of deal.
Yes, it's like
Okay.
back in the day, they used to put out this thing called riff tracks, right? And you would download the riff tracks, and it would start the movie, right when the movie, and they would start commentating, and you would put that on while you watch the movie. We have a similar thing, but there's an element of audience participation where we tell you when to hit play with us. So that's fun. That's it though. That's the only difference. It's a
pretty
blatant ripoff.
scuffed.
It's absolutely very scuffed. But
Okay. I think I was.
and we had some technical difficulties.
Y'all had
on
definitely.
that.
Y'all had definitely.
Yeah, so his laptop literally straight up died, and we had to pause the movie and pause the episode and then come back, and then
Yeah.
they had to press play.
How do y'all handle like buffering and stuff? Like how does that factor in?
Don't buffer.
Never buffer. I got you. Okay.
I have little antennae that I put on the back of my PC that helps catch the Wi-Fi signal, even though they're pointing at a fucking wall. But you know, I've pretty banger Wi-Fi even in this suboptimal setup. It's it's pretty good. But if you don't have that, tough shit, tough titties. Sucks to suck. But what are y'all's favorite Christmas movies? I don't want to reveal mine because that's going to be what we're watching tomorrow.
You know, I am having a hard time thinking of a Christmas movie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Polar Express. Let's. You know what? We can
I'm
do
not
a little,
really
we
the
can do a
type
little
of
tier
person
list.
that like pulls up Christmas movies every single time Christmas comes around. I feel like I watch every single movie once and I never watch them again type of deal. So I forget a lot of movies, you know?
Um.
If I pull up, like, I know all over every single streaming platform right now, I can't find any movies except for Christmas movies though.
mhm. Um. So hang on. Let me go back. What is it? Go to template. Here we go. That doesn't help. But all right. Let's. Man, somebody just said something that I don't really like here. I'm not going to share my opinions on any of these to not, um, uh, like, prejudice the list. But let me just pull out my.
You
Damn.
know, I'm gonna pull up a list here.
Yeah, here's my. I have a list of.
Can't even think of your favorite Christmas movies off the top of your head.
No, I have a few. I have a few. It's just I have a list that I want to talk about, and yeah. All right. So, um, how do we feel about It Happened on Fifth Avenue?
I've never watched it.
Me neither.
Okay. Miracle on 34th.
Nope.
White Christmas.
Nope.
Max.
I like White Christmas.
See, Maxwell's seen that. That makes sense. It's a musical. That makes sense. It's a Wonderful Life. How do you feel about that?
Oh wait, never mind. That's the one I've seen.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
I haven't
The
seen
Man
White
Who Invented
Christmas.
Christmas.
Is that? No, I haven't seen that one.
It's about Charles Dickens. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Obviously, I made Maxwell watch that.
He
I've
did.
seen that one before. I think a long,
that movie
long time
was
ago.
questionable.
Really, I like it. I that's one of my favorites.
Wasn't
I mean, it was entertaining, but
weren't those like a
this-
series of movies though, right? And they had like a Christmas
Yes.
one, and they had like a couple other ones, right?
The first one is just National Lampoon's Vacation,
so
and it's just like a normal vacation.
what
I-
Like a
is
Christmas vacation.
what is National Lampoons?
It's a magazine. It's sort of like Mad before it was Mad, if that makes sense. Like,
I see.
does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes.
It's like satire, you know. It's yeah. It's like a comedy satire magazine. Die Hard.
I've never watched it, so but the actor, the one,
Bruce Willis.
that guy, he seems pretty good. I've seen him in a couple of things.
Mm-hmm. Eight Crazy Nights. How do you feel about that?
Which one is that?
It's Adam Sandler. It's animated. It's about Hanukkah.
Oh, I do like that one. That one's a good one. That's the Hanukkah movie though, but it's okay. We'll count.
It's holiday films. Holiday
We'll
films.
count it. We'll count it.
Polar Express. How do you feel about Polar Express?
I kind of like Polar Express. I don't know why, but whenever I was younger, that movie kind of hit hard, you know? Plus, I feel
Yeah.
like I'm a little biased because I remember in high school, that was always my favorite song during the Christmas concerts,
Mm-hmm.
playing the Polar Express song, you know? So I have a good connection with that one.
Gremlins.
I watched it a long time ago. I remember it was pretty good. It's been such a long time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't mind it.
Serendipity.
You know, I saw that on my recommended the other day, and I really thought about watching it. My brother said it was really good, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
As far as Christmas rom-coms go, I would say it's pretty solid. It's not amazing. It's not terrible. It's all right. It's pretty good. How do we feel about Rudolph? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
That's like
Had a
the
very shiny nose.
that's like the claymation
So
one, right?
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rudolph, pretty good.
I remember
Um,
it. I just those movies, I feel like they aired every year, but I only watched like parts of it, or I only watched it like one time.
Mm-hmm. How do we feel about the Santa Claus movies?
I really liked those movies, the Tim Allen ones.
I never liked them. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know. I those are like the ones I would say I have watched more than once. You know, I've watched like the first, the second, and the third one.
Hmm.
I didn't watch like the
The new series
yeah. I
thing.
did see there was like a new series, like I think on Disney Plus or something. I did not watch those, but I did watch like the first three. I think.
Here's a debate we should have: Is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think it's trying to hit two markets, and I think it does it pretty well.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think
it's...
what you could do is you could play that movie around Halloween time, and then just replay it around Christmas time, and nobody would bat an eye. You know.
I don't know. How do you feel about Santa Claus is Coming to Town?
I guess he doesn't know.
It's like the origin story of Santa. How do we feel about it?
I don't know what that movie is.
Santa Claus is Coming to Town. It's another claymation one.
Oh, to be honest, I kind of thought they were all the same movie.
No.
But there's probably like three or four that are in that style, right?
Yeah.
I know there's like a snowman one too.
Frosty the Snow. Frosty is 2D animated. It's not claymation.
That one's a good one though. That's worth the
Frosty
shout
1.
out.
How do we feel about Frosty 2?
I don't think I've watched Frosty 2. I've watched Frosty 1, I think. But like you have to consider, I've watched these movies like such a long time ago. I really could not tell you anything about them except for I've watched them.
Mm-hmm. Arthur Christmas. Do we like that one? I've heard that one's pretty good.
I've not. I don't think I've seen that one.
How about Love Actually?
Sounds familiar. Which one is Love Actually?
That's a
So
Christmas
Love Actually,
movie.
yes. Love Actually is a series of like intertwined vignettes about a bunch of like rom-com stories that weren't strong enough to carry a movie on their own, so they had to put in like 6 of them in the movie.
I've heard of this movie. I've never actually watched it though.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I don't really consider like rom-com Christmas movies to be like real Christmas movies. You know what I mean? I feel like they're more about like the rom-com aspects of it, and the Christmas movie is just like a kind of like a plot device. You know?
I guess. How do you feel about Bad Santa?
That's the one. I think I might have seen Bad Santa. Like those kind of like really satire movies like that. I'm not. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. I don't remember if that one hit though.
Jingle All the Way?
No, it doesn't.
No.
Not familiar.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Jingle All the Way. It's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the kid from The Phantom Menace.
Nope.
No, not at all. Okay, all right. Elf. How do you feel about Elf?
It's a classic, all-time classic. Love Elf.
For all time.
I think it's pretty good. Always. Is that what we're doing? Was that a Loki reference?
Says the man who said on the podcast he'd refused to watch Loki.
I did watch Loki. I watched it over Thanksgiving.
I know
haven't
you
watched
did.
the second season yet.
I know you refused. You said you refused to watch it.
I mean, I say a lot of things. who knows what I'm saying half the time, you know? What's your favorite A Christmas Carol adaptation?
What are the options?
Muppets, the weird animated one with Jim Carrey, the Disney one.
A Christmas Carol. I like the Muppets. Like the Muppets movies and all that are all right. You know, the thing is, like, so many things have had like a Christmas special or Christmas version. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You could really say almost any franchise has a Christmas something. You know?
Yeah, but I'm talking about specifically adaptations of the Charles Dickens book, A Christmas Carol.
I guess Muppets.
Ghost of Christmas Past, you know, that sort of thing.
Oh, that I
Ebenezer Scrooge.
I forgot that was like a Christmas Carol. Like I do remember watching one that was just animated, I think, but I don't. It wasn't like it was just the Christmas Carol. I don't think it was.
Did it have Jim Carrey in it? Because I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm talking about, and that one sucks.
Is that the animated one? That's the only one that I remember watching. Was it might have been Jim Carrey. It was. I knew it was animated. I didn't really pay attention to the actors though. It was
Did
probably
it
Jim
look
Carrey.
like kind of Uncanny Valley, where it's like realistic, but like it's not? Like it's like animated, but it's like realistic?
Kind of. I think so.
Yeah, that one sucks.
Well, I haven't watched the other one, so
You've never seen Muppet Christmas Carol or the Disney one? What did they put on in your fucking school, dude?
I told you I watch movies once, years go by, and then I forget they ever existed. So I probably watched a lot more movies than I than I remember, but only some movies actually stick out to me, you know?
Yeah, Maxwell, what's your favorite version?
Of
A
what?
Christmas Carol.
Well, that's a tough one. The Muppets one's pretty funny. I like the Mickey Mouse one.
The Mickey Mouse one's pretty solid. That's the one they would play in school. Is they play that one.
Yeah,
And
that one slaps.
And then in middle school, they made us read the book, and they played what was it? I think it was the George C. Scott version.
I think I've decided what movie I'm going to choose as my favorite Christmas movie.
All right, let's hear it.
I think I'm going to go with a classic. I'm going to go with The Grinch. Love The Grinch.
Which one?
I like both of them, but I think I like the original a little bit more.
What do you mean both of them?
Well, there's two, right? There's only two.
There's three.
Which one's the third one?
The first one was back in the 60s when Dr. Seuss was still alive, and it has the song in it, you know,
Oh, you
the
mean
mean
like
one, Mr. Grinch?
Oh, the animated one, like a long, long time ago. I forgot about
Yeah.
that one.
The best one.
Okay,
It's unsettling. It's unsettling that you forgot about that one, but you're like, oh yeah, I can't choose between these two. They're both my favorite. What the fuck is wrong with you? You like the
Whoa.
fucking Jim Carrey one? You like the fucking Benedict Cumberbatch one? What's wrong with you?
I think they were all solid, to be honest with you. I think you're
No.
kind of just a hate. I feel like you're doing this thing right now
No.
where you have a favorite, so you can't see anything else as being good. I feel like they're all good. One might be
In-
better than the others, but I feel like
In
they're
the
all.
Jim Carrey one, he makes the mayor kiss a dog's asshole.
I feel like for the character of the Grinch in that movie, I believed it though. You know,
That's
what
the
I mean?
problem. That's not the character. That's not the real character.
Well,
Dr. Seuss was rolling in his fucking grave after that. Between that one and Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss's widow said no more live action Dr. Seuss adaptations because they were both so fucking awful.
Let me tell you though, like as somebody who like watched the movies for entertainment more than for like, you know, just how good of an adaptation they were, I thought The Cat in the Hat was pretty good too, to be honest.
Oh my fucking god.
I kind of thought that some of the parts of The Cat in the Hat movie kind of went
my
hard, you know?
fucking- Oh
Mhm.
my fucking
Say it.
god.
Say it loud. Say
You
it
know,
loud. Say it
both,
proud.
You are both on crack. I'm genuinely concerned.
has this been a conversation you and Max have had? Because I kind of vibe with The Cat in the Hat movie, to be honest.
No.
I wouldn't mind rewatching it, to be
No.
honest.
It's so bad. It's so bad. All right, fine. We'll watch the fucking Cat in the Hat movie. I mean, technically, it's already been done before. Razzle got really famous off of watching Cat in the Hat. So I don't want it to be seen as derivative, but when they
Could be us.
yeah, I can't believe you two think that the fucking Cat in the Hat movie is good. What is wrong with you?
The cat goes hard in that movie, man.
There's something wrong with you two. I don't
And
know
Jim
what-
Carrey goes hard in the other one. So I feel like the leads in both of those movies did a good job, you know?
Mike Myers does a terrible job as the cat. He's the worst part.
He's the best
the
part.
desi-
What are you
The
talking
design is
about?
really bad. His performance is really stiff and awkward because he can't act like Jim Carrey does. Because Jim Carrey can really like do that shit with his face, you know?
You do that shit with his face, man.
Yeah, exactly. He do that shit with his face.
So, like, I think all the Grinches, I like them all. I'll say that the original, like the original, the one you're talking about, I think it's probably the best, but it's not the one that I watch the most. So I have a
It's by
bias, you
far,
know.
it's the only good one. No one has made a good Dr. Seuss adaptation other than those ones that were made while he was still alive.
The crazy thing is though, right? Like even though I know it's like objectively probably better, I have like a bias to just not agree with you, partly because I didn't watch that one as much, and I also like disagreeing with you.
I like both of these arguments.
So if I said it's good to breathe oxygen, you should do that, and you would be like, I'm gonna stop breathing then, and you would fucking choke and die.
You
Is
know,
that what you're telling me right now?
you're like, you know what they say, a broken clock is right twice a day, you know what I mean? So like it's sometimes you say something smart, Nick, sometimes.
Fuck yourself. I just saw an ad that had some good ass looking fucking jambalaya, and now I'm fucking hungry. Fuck you.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say that the Jim Carrey one's the one I watch the most. So I'll say that that one's my favorite.
Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome. It's fucking terrible. It's fucking awful. It's the worst one.
You know, whenever like you have like that nostalgia, you know what I mean? It's like it's hard to like replace the nostalgia with something else, you know?
I mean, I guess. The animated one sucks too. I hate Illumination. Illumination has never made a good movie. They're all really shitty and samey and really fucking annoying, and I hate them.
They
And I think
do feel very similar from movie to movie. I feel like once you watch one movie, you kind of got like the animation style kind of like just copy pasted across the rest.
not the animation style, not just that. No, it's the whole everything. The plot is the same.
The jokes are kind of the same too.
The jokes are all the same. Yeah, they have not created a single original piece of work ever. And what they have made that is original, or you could maybe possibly call original, is fucking shitty. So
I feel
fuck
like
you.
with those movies though, like for me, I just see those movies as all being mid, and I think mid is better than being bad. And I feel like, you know, hey, you know, if
I
it
would
works for
say
them.
no. Bad is so much better than mid, right? Like I hate, um, I hate the Cat in the Hat movie. That one sucks. But I would much rather watch that than any Illumination movie because they're all so fucking soulless and boring, right?
I feel
It's like
like
how
it's one of those things where I feel like the Cat in the Hat is so much like trying to be its own thing that it kind of like stands out in a good way. You know what I mean? I really do think the Cat in the Hat is one of those things where I wouldn't expect to like it, but it just holds up. You know, it really does.
but it doesn't. It's so
That's
ass.
the thing, though. The jokes hit in Cat in the Hat. You know what I
They
mean?
don't. They don't. It's
You
not
know what I
funny.
mean?
They just hit.
I'm not gonna lie. The kids in that movie, though, you know, they really should have just given more screen time to the cat. The cat was carrying. You know, let's just get rid of the kid.
There's something wrong with you two.
Put the cat on screen more. That's what I need. Actually, you know what? You think we can get a
The
sequel?
kids aren't good, but the cat is fucking horrifying. Okay, as soon as the cat shows up, I'm not the first person to make this point, but fucking the Cat in the Hat could very easily be like an A24 horror film. Okay, it's bad.
Let me
It's
tell
scary.
you, I would start a petition for a sequel, like if I could. You know,
There's
I
something
can
wrong with you.
actually, but I'm not going to because I'm a little lazy. But I would though if I wasn't as lazy.
All right, all right. I have a question. What is the best Charlie Brown special?
The
Christmas, Thanksgiving, or Great Pumpkin?
the only one I remember, I think, was wait, is the Great Pumpkin and Thanksgiving not the same thing?
No, Great Pumpkin is Halloween.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I like, yeah, because I don't know why. I think the Halloween one is my favorite though. That's the only one that I have like a super vivid memory of whenever I would watch it on like television.
I would say Great Pumpkin is the best. Christmas is the second best. Thanksgiving is kind of whatever. I can take it or leave it. All right. How do we feel about A Christmas Story? With Ralphie, you'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Who?
Great.
I would agree with that. Very good.
Put it
I
put it up there.
I used to remember not liking it as much, but like it's grown on me, especially because the mom is fucking hot. I don't know what it is, but National Lampoons and Christmas Story both have fucking baddies as the mom. It's ridiculous.
I feel like you're focusing on the wrong
Absolute
part of the movie, but that's okay.
No, they're fucking bad. Literally. I don't know. If you if you're a patron and you log in and you watch you watch the commentary with the movie.
I don't understand what he's saying.
I'll tell you, there's a thing that happens
You know,
in National Lampoons.
Could I
It's
ask
pretty
you
funny.
if you're able to disclose to me like the amount of people that are realistically watching this movie on Patreon?
Well, they're not watching the movie on Patreon. They're watching the movie by themselves, and they're watching our commentary on Patreon.
I just need a number. Like there has to be a number that you have that you can see that I want to know because I'm curious.
I would say less than 1,000.
That's unhelpful because I want to know a more specific number.
Less than 999.
But here's the thing, though. That leaves a lot of room for interpretation, but I feel like
And I feel like art should have room for interpretation.
I don't assume, like, Maxwell probably is in control of that, or Maxwell would be able to tell me the number, because if either of y'all could tell me the number, I feel like I'd be very interested in knowing what it is.
Art is up for interpretation. I don't think you need me.
No, that's not the question, though. The question is
the death of the author. You don't need all the information.
Do you think that this like podcast would like skyrocket if we just killed off one of the hosts, preferably you?
What a good question.
You know, kind of like how like what's it called? Like artists, whenever like they die, their paintings are valued more. Do you think that this podcast would just like it would blow up? They'd be like, wow.
Who would publish this? Who would make sure it goes
No,
everywhere?
not obviously there wouldn't be new episodes, not like the old episodes, you know what I mean? With the old episodes pop off, be like, oh man, I didn't know him when he was alive, but now that he's dead, I can appreciate his work, sort of deal, you know?
But who would market it? And also, why would they sub to the Patreon when like we're dead and they're not going to be getting early access to the episodes because there's not going to be any new episodes?
You don't have any like exclusive content on there?
We do. It's the movie commentaries, but
we all gotta pump out more exclusive content. That way, whenever you die, like your people can get extra money there. You know what I mean?
I mean, we're putting out 2 more.
Well, there you go. So whenever you mysteriously die sometime next year, and like your movie commentaries pop off, whoever like is your the heir to your fortune.
I have no heir.
We'll get all this Patreon earnings.
Nobody's getting my fucking fortune. Fuck you. Nobody's getting it.
So you're dying and you're lighting everything on fire. You're taking it all with you.
Yeah, they're putting it in my tomb.
You're asking for grave robbers out here now.
No, I will have the most state-of-the-art tomb out of anybody ever.
Will you?
And, yeah, and nobody's gonna be able to rob it.
You'll put ink bags in your like money sacks. You know what I mean?
No, sulfuric acid. That way, when they touch it, it just melts their fucking hands off and they fucking die.
Wow, so selfish.
I mean,
it really
it's
is.
my money.
You don't need the money.
It's my money.
You're dead. You don't need it.
You aren't eating the food that's in your fridge currently. Do you mind if I go in there and fucking steal it?
Well, I don't have any food in my fridge, but you can have fun
Checkmate.
trying to look.
Checkmate.
I
don't use a fridge, so how do you feel about them apples?
When I reincarnate, I will know how to get in there and retrieve my wealth. So, me and only me is who my wealth is for. I don't.
Do you think that like the pharaohs that like died and like had all their money buried with them, that whenever their tombs were robbed, do you think the money was taken from them in the afterlife as well? They were like, "Oh man, your tomb was robbed. We got to take that afterlife money away from you now."
I'm not sure. I think all that stuff was there to just get them to the afterlife, and I think after that they were fine.
You're telling me they can't even use the money in the afterlife? Then what's the point? It goes
No, I
back
think
to
they needed the boat because they would normally be buried with a boat, right? And they would take the boat and it would get them to where they need to go, you know?
so
Does that-
so like how long after that somebody dies are you allowed to take their stuff because they don't need it anymore?
I'm not sure, but did you know that in France you're only renting the your what is it, gravesite? You have to like actually pay upkeep.
But
You know?
but you're dead though, so how would
I know. Like your family has to pay for it.
but like what if you have like many generations of family?
You got to keep paying.
I feel like that would become unsustainable for many generations down the line though.
I mean, tell that to fucking France. You know?
At the same time, you know what I mean? Like after
There's a
a
lot of things wrong with
while,
France.
at the same time, after a while, like I kind of do see the point of being like, we can't be burying these people everywhere. Like, there's just not enough land for the amount of people that we're gonna have to be burying after like 100 years. You know what I mean?
I mean, that is why a lot of people are switching over to what's it called? Being not crucified.
Crucified.
That's a different thing. That's a different thing.
That's that. I like your idea though. You know, whenever you die, you just get put on a crucifix.
I mean, come on, it'll come to me here in a minute. You gotta give me a minute here.
The thing is, I know the word, but I'm just choosing not to say it.
Not coronated either. That's another different thing.
Maxwell, you know the word, right?
I really don't.
It's okay. The thing
Someone knows
is, y'all are gonna know the word as soon as Kael eventually figures it out. But I'm not gonna tell him because I feel like this is a funny little bit.
I can endorse that.
It starts with a K, or like a K sound, doesn't it?
Well,
Doesn't it?
wouldn't you like to know?
Like they incinerate your corpse. Yeah, I know that. I know what it is. I know what the.
If only there was a
I need
word
to
for
know-
If only there was a
I need to
word
know
for
the
that.
word to figure it out. I hate you.
It's funny that me and him had the same joke too.
I hope you both know that you're both going to hell. I hope you both understand.
Can we tie this into the big red button? Like,
The thing is,
I
like,
don't know if we'll get to the fucking big red button if I don't figure out this
I don't know how many more
fucking
topics
word.
we have on the plate here, but
this word seems to be the highest point of contention.
I'm
right
gonna
now.
figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out.
why are we
It's-
still? You could have looked it up in this time. At this point,
I don't know what I would say to look it up is the problem. Something. Come. That's what it is. It's come.
all right. How
See.
about we talk about something else while you figure that out?
No, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna find a way.
Yeah, we
You
can do
really,
that.
you really want to stall like the
We're gonna get
whole
there.
situation
We're
until you
gonna
figure
get
out this
there.
word?
I'm gonna get there.
I don't have
dude.
faith. It's already been way longer than it should have been.
Shut up. We're gonna get there if it's the last thing I do.
Let me try to look up
Okay.
this word without saying this word to see how easy it is. After
charisma.
Cannot find the word.
Cock and ball torture. Career suicide. Am I on the right letter at least? I feel like that's the issue. I don't know if I'm even on the right letter.
you know, I want to look at this BuzzFeed article.
Confidence man. Cantankerous. I don't.
All right, so what should we say? What's the big red button? It's like you.
Cremation. You
There.
assholes. Thanks for the
Hey,
non.
there you go. We got there.
Thanks for the non-help. You fucking.
The crazy thing is though, like we can see you buffering in real time. You know.
I know, that was impressive. I was really like, I felt like I was part of a moment.
Like, I feel like if there was like a visual part of this, there would be like smoke coming out of your ears. You know what I mean?
I'm wearing headphones, so you wouldn't see it, but cremation, that's what it is. Okay, cool. I'm glad I finally figured that out with no help from you.
You know, I feel like we just wanted to allow you to figure it out on yourself. Now, don't you feel so much better that you figured it out on by
Fuck you.
yourself?
Yeah,
Fuck
not
you.
cathartic.
We really did it for you, right? We didn't want to take that moment away from you.
How about you take it and shove it right up your ass? How about that?
Whoa, this is a friendly podcast here. You gotta chill.
Fuck off.
You gotta chill, bro.
You gotta chill. Like, you're coming out here with this aggressive, hostile energy, and that's just, it's not the vibes that we want today.
That's right. You're harsh and the mellow.
Get harsher than the mellow.
You can't see this, but I'm flipping them off right now. So hard.
You mean your monitor? Your screen?
No, I'm pointing it in both directions that you're in, and I'm flipping you off.
Oh, you mean like towards the coasts, right?
Like he's pointing one like north and one to the
Exactly.
west.
Yeah, yes. Fuck you.
You just have like the directions just ready to go, don't you?
I have an impeccable sense of direction. I know everything.
Mhm.
Fuck you guys. So not helpful. So non-helpful. It's not even fucking funny.
I'm laughing.
I think
I'm
that
sure
we
you
have
are.
created a good listening experience to anyone who chooses to come and listen to this, you know?
I hope
agree.
you die. I hope you die. I hope you die so much. Fuck you. Fuck you for doing this to me. It's not fair.
If you
You
think
have
about
to,
it, you
though.
really do it to yourself, right?
How?
What do you mean how? Like, you know, you invited
What I
us.
do?
You invited us.
Inspired us.
This is
Also-
victim blaming
also-
of the highest order.
You are the one looking for the word.
Yes, because nobody fucking helped me.
But here's the thing. If you think about it, everything comes down to being your fault. Right?
Well,
Because
I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised.
you made a decision, and that decision led to us being here, and that was your decision. That wasn't our decision. You know what I mean?
Shove it up your ass. Shove it right up your ass. Go to hell. I hate you. I hate you.
So regardless of what we could say or you could say, the point is, and the most important thing that the audience should take away from this is that Kael is just wrong all the time.
Fuck you. There you go. How about big red button news? You both fucking die. There is no but. You both fucking die, and I'm pressing this button so fucking hard.
And,
Are we already
and
at the big red button, or was there anything else you had on the agenda?
I think
I
it's.
mean, we're
I
over
think
an
it's
hour
we
and
both
20, I
die,
think.
and Kael never figures out what the word is when he passes on
We
into
both-
the afterlife.
You know what?
And he's
You
like,
know what?
what's the word? What's the word? And he dies. And then they're like,
I
damn,
can't tell them what to do with my body
We
because
don't- we don't know what to do with his body now.
because he doesn't know the word cremation. Fuck you. This is awful. This is awful.
Like, if y'all could choose like a way to go out, what would your burial be? Would you be cremated? Would you be? I'm not talking about like how you would commit suicide. I'm talking about like I'm talking about
I was
like
gonna say chlorine gas.
I would say like, what do you
gas.
want done with your body after you die? Like, you want to be buried, cremated?
I've said before on the podcast, but I'll say it again. My official will is take all of the organs and skin and flesh that you can. Take all the bone marrow out of my bones and stuff, but leave my bones and put me up in a museum in like a funny pose, right? It's like thinker or like cannonball into a pool or slipping on a banana peel and like arms in the air flailing, something like that.
What about
Something
you,
like
Max?
that. Well, I don't want to be in a body exhibit when I die, but maybe someone can take my organs before my heart stops beating, and
I don't think that's possible
Cremate me.
because your heart is something that they can transplant into someone else.
Well, you can't donate any organs if your heart isn't working. So I'd be like, you gotta act fast, y'all. Let's get it. Let's keep it moving.
I mean, true, fair.
I think that I'm also a donor, so like I'd do my donor stuff, right? But after I'm done with my donor stuff, right, I'm thinking, right, Viking funeral. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah!
Did you know they didn't
What
really
a
do
way to
that very
go.
often?
The thing is, I don't care how often they did it. I want I want that for me.
Like it's a pop
Viking
culture invention.
funeral.
They didn't actually do that, but yeah.
But let
I mean,
me
that would be
tell
kinda
you,
cool.
that's what I want. I want to be pushed out like 200 feet, and then like an expert archer just shoot one arrow, perfectly perfectly hit it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's my dream. Now, is it gonna happen? Probably, maybe not. But you never know. You never know. I can hope.
Hey, it's a dream. It's a dream if I've ever heard one.
I mean, I guess. I fucking hate you guys.
Sounds like someone's not happy. Someone's a little upsetty.
The thing is, we didn't even say anything mean to you. I don't understand why you're upset.
You let me struggle for like 5 straight minutes.
It really
on
felt
how
like
to-
an eternity for us, you know?
Yeah, it felt even longer actually for us.
Max and Danny both I can't say fucking die, but never figures
Was
out.
Is that actually the big red button right now?
Yeah.
Do y'all just do that for big red buttons now? Y'all just
Basically.
I mean, we've had some pretty good ones.
Yeah, because whenever I was doing big red button, I remember it was actual questions, but now y'all just murder us with the button.
Yeah, it's just kind of random.
It doesn't have to make sense. I get it. That's fine. Well, for the record, for anybody out there, I probably won't choose to press that button.
I think it'd be very funny, and I'm slamming that fucking button.
The thing
all over the
is,
goddamn
right?
place.
Like, I'm probably not going to press the button, but if I do, I can live with the knowledge of knowing that you won't know the word.
Yeah,
Well, I can die
here's
with the knowledge, should I say?
All right, we had the last big red button probably wouldn't you probably wouldn't get it, but the one before that we had to skip a week. We said you find the love of your life, but they have an unremovable turtle shell on their torso.
That was
Like,
pretty good.
like on their
Yeah.
like, what do you mean on their torso?
Like
on
their whole torso is a turtle shell, and you can't take it off.
like
Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but human head, human arms, human legs.
But real
But-
tortoise.
But here's the problem with that, right? It's like, how would you get anything done? You know what I mean?
With great patience.
The thing is, it's not me having the turtle shell, so it's a little bit better. But like at the same time, it's like, I feel like it'd be difficult. Like how would that even work? You know?
With great patience.
Like you'd have to like buy shirts that are specially tailored, pants that are specially tailored. You know what I mean? You'd have to, whenever they like roll over on the bed, you know what I mean? They just like,
Yeah.
it's just,
Actually,
there's just so many things that are just gonna be a problem with that one.
Actually, I have another one.
An actual big red button question for us? A bonus?
I'm keeping the first one. I'm keeping the fucking first one because that one's hilarious. But I feel like it would be very prescient for me to ask the first big red button question that we ever asked. All right. So, you have a financially successful career in the art form of your choice, but your works are universally reviled by everyone who watches them.
You see, I'm curious what I said in the first episode because I remember this question, but I forget what I said.
Well, I think that helps to it's very, you don't have that previous knowledge.
And I definitely do think that my opinions have changed over time. I don't know how much they've changed, but I guess for anybody out there listening, you could do a side
Go
by
back
side
to that first episode.
comparison
Yeah.
of me and
Go back to
Kael's
that first
response,
episode.
right?
I think the majority of our views are on that first episode, so go back and listen to it
So
again.
you
Pretty
said
good.
that you could have a career that's like successful, but you're hated, right?
Yes. Universally. Like worse than Nickelback.
And it's like it's either that or nothing, right? Because you just press the button.
Yeah.
Well, let's let Max take the lead on this. I think because he's hasn't heard this question at all, right?
Yeah. What do you think, Max? Would you press that?
Between. Well, give me the question again. Hold on.
You have a financially successful career in the art form of your choice, but your work is universally reviled by everyone who hears it or sees it.
I mean, sounds kind of sick.
Are you sure? I think the hate would get to you.
It sounds cool though. Just being a farmer.
But that's not the art form of your choice.
Why not?
That's not an art. It's a science. Agriculture is a science.
Fine. I guess it's a science. Well, damn, I don't know. I just think it'd be kind of fun to
get hated.
Yeah, to be hated. I like notoriety.
You like notoriety?
I mean,
notoriety is kind of sick. It's kind of...
I mean, like where we're at now is pretty underground, but pretty solid reviews. So not very financially successful, but very very positively reviewed, or completely rolling in the dough, but like with the fact that everyone fucking hates us.
I think that I have a strategy here, right?
What's that?
I'm thinking, you know how like authors have like writers' names, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't think I would choose books, but I feel like whatever career I did choose, I would just like have like a fake name, right? Like a name I would attach to like all my projects, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be separate from my name. That way I could be like, man, I hate that person too, like around my friends, but I won't never tell them that that's actually me.
They would know you.
Idea.
Okay. They would know you.
Well, maybe
you can't get out of that.
Maybe my personal friends would know me, right? But like, I feel like,
and they would still hate it. They would be like, "This is the worst dog shit I've ever fucking heard in my life."
But like, let's say like a random person, right? Is like let's say I'm like in like a bookstore and like I chose books, right? Like it's like, man, don't you just hate that artist, right? I heard that hate that author.
Your photo would be in the book. Everyone would know who you are.
My photo would be in the. Why would I put my photo in the book? That seems like a terrible idea.
That's part of the thing. Everyone knows who you are. You're very rich, but everyone hates everything you do.
You know what? To be honest, still I would choose yes though. I think fun, like I think it's fun to be hated, kind of like what Max said, right? To an extent, right? Go against the grain. Also, I'm rolling in dough, so who cares what anybody says? It's like you hate me, man. But like here's my mansion sort of situation, right?
I don't know, man. There's actually a pretty pertinent thing that happened just recently on Twitter. There's a creator in actually our space, the Dungeons and Dragons space. Joe Cat recently got hate for an old video resurfacing that I will admit is kind of cringe. It's like a parody of Lizzo's Boys. I don't know if you've heard that. But it's like Lizzo talking about all the kinds of boys that she likes. And it's Joe Cat talking about all the kinds of girls that he likes. And it's kind of cringe. But everyone's fucking hating him, and they've been doxing him for a while, and it increased recently, and he said, I'm going to complete the projects that are already in progress, and then I'm going to take an indefinite break from making content, right? So, clearly, he's like a pretty successful channel, right? Like, he makes good money. He should, based on the math that I've seen for like how many views versus how many dollars of ad revenue. So, like, he's not poor, and he's making good fucking money. But like, just the harassment and the hatred and all that shit coming to your family, right? Because remember,
but here's
it's a lot.
the thing that
worse.
confuses me about the question, right? Is
Mhm.
that, like, in order for you to be successful as an artistic career, somebody has to like your stuff. But if nobody likes your stuff and you're successful, then where is the money coming from? Is it like one of those
It's like how
things?
nobody liked the Michael Bay Transformers movies, but they all made shit tons of money.
So is it one of those things where, like, let's say I release a book and everybody buys it because it's so bad that they're like interested in how bad it is or something like that?
Kind of. But it's not like a so bad it's good thing. It's like a so bad it's bad thing.
Then why are they buying it? It still goes
The
back to the
hate
question.
reading.
It's like I don't understand why somebody would purchase something then.
I don't know. Maybe people just keep thinking that it's gonna be good at some point, and they keep buying it, but they just don't. Like, it just never turns out being good.
You
I
know,
don't know.
I actually like that lore a lot more. I like the idea of somebody being like, "Man, this next book this author's gonna come out with is gonna be a banger," and then every single time they're let down.
Yeah.
They're like, I'll
See-
get it right this time.
Exactly.
They don't.
Yeah. So I think it's something like that, and I would say that's. But like, just think about how nasty like haters are now, right?
The
Like,
thing is, I feel like if I did choose yes, right, which I think I am, I would choose a career that I think would not put as much of a spotlight on me, right? Like, obviously, I wouldn't be like a pop singer, you know what I mean, where I'm like performing in front of like a stage, because then, there's a lot more danger if people are all haters, you know what I mean, right?
mm-hmm.
Versus if I'm like an author, you know what I mean, like living in like my random secluded house and like my books go out to everybody, right? I probably won't do
Mm-hmm.
book readings though, for sure, or or book signings, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll choose some sort of like more private life sort of career.
Are you like afraid of getting John Lennon?
Um, I don't know what you mean by that.
Oh, I had another thought. This one's kind of an offensive take, right? Um, uh, and I think this will be the last
What
thing
a-
we do before we
What a
wrap up.
great way to like end the year, man.
Hell yeah, this is the last episode for the end of the year. I forgot about that. So, but my most here's a thought I had on the drive down here. Um, was that John Lennon was a wife beater and a kid beater and abusive and racist and all that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when Mark David Chapman, confronted him at that hotel when he was standing there with Yoko, I think he hit the wrong person. Because fuck Yoko.
Damn, bro.
I mean, have you ever seen that concert where it was John Lennon performing with Chuck Berry, and like the lore behind it is like, John Lennon was like huge Chuck Berry fan, right? Because that the Beatles took black music and made it white, and that's why they were so successful. So like, but he had like legit respect for Chuck Berry and huge influence, and they finally got to perform together in the 70s, and Yoko was there, and she was doing her little Yoko thing, and you could see like Chuck Berry was really annoyed, and John was so fucking embarrassed, and the people at the concert cut her fucking mic because she was so bad. Yeah, like John Lennon was a fucking scumbag.
This is all lore that I did not know and did not need to know, but thank you.
But Yoko Ono broke up the Beatles, and she's a bad artist. So I would say, Mark, you hit the wrong person. You idiot. You dense motherfucker.
Yeah, you should have hit Kel instead.
Yay.
I wasn't born in 1980, you fuck.
Still should have been there for the
I
hit.
feel like they should have like still found a way, you know?
I think he just got out of... No, I think it was John Hinckley Jr. who just got out of jail. Mark David Chapman. He's still alive. Yeah, he's still locked up in jail. But yeah, fuck Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono sucks. John Lennon was a piece of shit, but Yoko Ono. Oh Jesus!
Is this
Danny,
how you'll? Oh wait, what happened? Did something happen?
you did a ow. Yes, with your mic. Ow.
Oh, I think it hit something.
Quit hitting shit. But yeah.
Is
does
this
anyone
like
have?
how
No
y'all
one has
do it
any
now?
comments on that.
Is
No one
this-
has any comments on that.
I have not a single clue about what you're talking about. You're just rambling about nonsense at this
Do you
point.
not know who Yoko Ono is?
I don't know who any of the characters in that story were.
John Lennon
Nice.
from the fucking Beatles.
I don't know the
Danny.
Beatles like that. I've heard his name before, and that's about as much as I know about him. Okay.
So John Lennon broke up the Beatles.
No,
'cause
I
he wanted
don't
bang
need to
Yoko
know, or I
Ono.
don't want to know. I just
No,
I
you
just
need to know. You need to know for it to properly be offensive. Is John Lennon and Paul McCartney were like the two main Beatles, right? Who wrote most of their songs. John Lennon left his wife to bang Yoko Ono, and also left his son. And so he and Yoko broke up the Beatles, and for about 10 years after the breakup, John and Yoko were making music together, and Yoko was awful because she's completely untalented. And then, in December 8th, 1980, a guy shot John Lennon 4 times in the back, and he died.
only
hotel.
4.
Yeah. And I think that was before his like bodyguards tackled him or something. But yeah, he shot John Lennon 4 times in the back and he died. And Yoko Ono is still alive and still making shitty music where she goes, ah! That's what she sounds like. Literally. I can send you a clip of her doing it.
Well, here's the thing, Kael, right? You are notoriously good at making bad takes.
No, I'll show you. A clip.
The
She's
only
terrible.
smart thing I think I've ever heard you say was the thing about breathing earlier today.
And yet I'm going for
Notoriously
a
good
PhD.
at bad takes. Is
And yet I'm going for a PhD, and you're not.
Have you noticed that too, Michael Maxwell?
yeah, but it's great. It's great how you put it. It was really well put.
Yeah, I thought that it was well put too.
Put it in your pipe and smoke it. How about that?
That was amazing. I really like
Fuck
that
you.
take. That's probably the best take of the year.
What, that breathing oxygen is good?
No, my
you're
take
not
about your bad
notoriously
takes.
Good at bad takes. Yeah.
My takes are amazing. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I think that is the best take of the year.
What about the take where I said it probably would have been better if Big Bird had died in the Challenger disaster?
I think that coincides with
I think that just supports what I said.
Exactly.
Wow, so you're
yeah.
saying it would have been better for Krista McAuliffe to die in the Challenger disaster? Wow, what did she do?
What did Big Bird do?
What did Big Bird
Nothing. But he would have been a martyr. No one would have voted for Reagan again, and his entire political legacy would be ruined because he killed Big Bird. So, therefore, the all of Reagan's policies would have been undone, and the country would have healed.
It's
But instead we
crazy,
got
like how much
way
you
more
talk,
Reagan.
but like nobody's listening though.
You should try listening. I say intelligent things from time to time. It's almost like I'm going for a fucking PhD.
I hope that PhD makes people listen to you, because I don't think it will, but
Oh,
I hope it
shit.
does.
What are you screaming oh shit about, Maxwell?
Just I hope those screaming gets you a PhD.
Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. Sponsors,
We love you,
Patreon, Justin Connor, thank you. Thank you for supporting this crucifixion, this martyrdom of me, where I am lambasted and tied to a stake and burned for your entertainment. Thank you, Justin, for that.
Yes, thank you,
I
thank you,
appreciate that.
thank you, Justin. You know, I'm back. I'm ready for season 3.
For one night only. For one night only.
No, season 3, like new year, new host, right?
We'll see how long that lasts. Wrangling you is like fucking pulling teeth. herding cats. It's yeah. But thank you for the support, Justin. Um, we also want to thank our sponsors. I feel like we should get in the habit of thanking our sponsors. So thank you.
Thank you.
Go check those out in the description. Um, we also want to say go follow us over on social media. We are at IIHS Podcast, all one word, over at Instagram, Threads, Twitter. Fuck you, Elon. It's still not X. And YouTube. So go check us out over there. We do updates, Q&A, topic suggestions, whatever you want to do. We're over there. It's the best place to reach us. Other than that, my name is Kael. I have been incredibly influential.
I am Maxwell. I have been highly successful.
And I'm Danny, and I've also been the returning highly successful.
And we'll see what happens next week. How about that? We'll see. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Happy holidays.